I know this is not a popular thought, but it's something that has resonated very deeply truthful and transformational. If you could just open your mind and your heart just a little bit to see that maybe this is a possibility, maybe this is true. And this ain't for everybody. But the wombs of women have been holding so many alchemical codes that break the fabric of time and space. The wombs of women are interdimensional portals that have the capacity to attract an interdimensional being to this planet using semen seeded from a man with her egg, which she chooses based on the performance of the DNA, so that the child that is created will have a higher chance of survival. It is the woman's womb that does this alchemical work. This is the reason that the price of entering a womb has went up. See, a woman can't be a gold digger because the electromagnetic field, the vortex, the centrifugal force that is created, the quantum components held within our womb space, has the capacity to transform pain into power, to relieve stress, to heal. But we have been abused. We have learned to abuse ourselves and call it sacrifices, call it compromises in relationships. It is because of this energy that the Catholic Church worshiped the Black Madonna. She represents the cosmic black hole, that space in which is still a mystery and has not been fully understood. The womb space of a woman, no matter how many experiences she has had, is what gives her the strength to keep going. Take that in for a moment. It's also a reservoir. So every traumatic event that a partner did not face or deal with that entered into her left that energy within her reservoir. And usually he is not going to be able to be there to help her work it out. Why is that? That's by design. In the 3D matrix, in order for a false womb space to be created in which consciousness rebirth is happening, this is why we're having to decondition, unlearn, decolonize the mind, because we entered into a false womb. We were given false principles, false concepts, false laws, social constructs, ways that women should and should not behave. And by doing that, a harness was put over the womb space. A rope was put around the throat of women. The inside of the throat and the vocal cords is exactly a mirror of a woman's womb space. And by disconnecting us from our womb space, by our womb space being polluted, mistreated, and dumped into, a lot of women are dealing with major fatigue, health issues, mental imbalances, hormonal issues, and it's not just the woman's fault. And this is not about blame. This is about accountability. Because we as a people will not ever shift this paradigm unless we become accountable for the part and the role that we played based on our soul contract. But you still have a choice. At any moment in time, you can change and alter your soul contract. That's what rewrites the Akashic records. Emotional intelligence is what's going to allow men to become space holders instead of those that wound us and dump stress in us. How many times have women heard, I just need to relieve some stress? Like we're a freaking Prozac pill for them to pop to make them feel better. See, bliss, the energy of bliss, no matter what was happening during copulation when we were being created, there is a charge, a particle charge that occurs that's created by bliss when an orgasm is experienced. And that particle charge that creates the bliss has such a strong vacuum, magnetic, electric force that is what brings us into a physically incarnated body from the cosmos. We choose our parents and we come here. So what am I saying to you? What is my point? My point is this. One of the most precious resources on the planet, which is a woman in the woman's womb space, has not been treated with respect, honor, love, and adoration. And I don't care what men say about what women have done. Any justification of any form of negligence or abuse is only going to keep them stuck in karmic cycles of paying karmic debt. We are in a time now where that is no longer being allowed. What men fail to understand is that the way that they treat womb men, who are the creatrixes, who bear the pain, who go through the labor, who carry the children for 9 months, sometimes longer. The amount of pain a woman has to experience, a man does not have that amount of pain on a physical, biological, metaphysical, spiritual level, psychological, emotional level. They haven't experienced that because women became the Isis, the Anana, the Ishtar, the mothers of this world, the Black Madonnas of this world. Men became our sons on an emotionally, spiritually mature level. And this was allowed to happen. This wasn't something that was forced. We stepped back as a collective, as the feminine embodiment, to allow men to go through their process, but we mothered them for too long. Our mothers and our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers mothered them too much. And now they are being called to mature. And so codependency, people-pleasing, walking on eggshells, being afraid to speak your truth, being with the man who isn't emotionally regulated enough to create safety for you means that you must become that masculine to yourself. And once you do that, then you are able to now become that version of you that can summon, that can conjure, that can call into your life, into your reality, what it is that you deserve, which is your sovereignty, your power, your voice. And for so long, you have heard so many people put women down, especially when you start talking about Lilith. Lilith was one of the archetypes where she was not going to be controlled, oppressed, and abused. And they took the story and they demonized the story of a woman who's in her power. Now men have become the slave masters. Women became the slaves in this thing they call marriage that was created by Britain. And Britain used ancient magic to conjure that up so that we would be kept in our place by our partners. But that's breaking down now. Now flowers and chocolate's not enough. Now we need vulnerability. We require safety. We require emotional regulation. We require compassion. We require empathy. And yes, I know because I've studied both sides. I am a Libra down to my bone. I can't help but lean towards equality and see both sides of that story. We have all been abused by the patriarchy. And it's time for us to awaken and for our sons, Osiris, to become Horus, the enlightened ones. Step back,